Oh my God, I thought I was gonna have a panic attack. All of these people down here at the fair, like, uh, what is an introvert gonna do with all of these energies? Yeah, but I made it. I did have my bouts of whatever we do when we're picking up all of these different energies. So I did my shift, did the whole thing. Towards the end, I started liking it. Once I became familiar with what the hell I was doing, then I was able to start liking it. Hey, where's the exit? But there's a police car here. Oh, okay, thank you. All these cops are down here too. Barricades, you don't know if you can get through or not. So I got an extra ticket because she said she needs more people during the evening time. And I'm like, I only know one person that might want to go. But I don't think it costs that much to get in. It's once you're in that costs a lot of money. I'm telling you. I did not even walk through, but I'm telling you, everything looked pretty high. Everything looked like, you're going to spend a minimum of $10, right? And I was looking, it was like, oh, a foot long hot dog was like $15, and and the ones that didn't even say how much they cost, they just say X amount of coupons. So there was a lot of people there, and they was about their money for sure. I mean, you could also go down and do some people watching. I didn't do no people watching. I just, glanced at a few people on my way, but there was nothing really for me to look at. Not like that. So, yeah. And the interesting thing that they was telling me was they thought that I had a cool job. Right? And I told them, I said, yeah, I'm volunteering. And they all looked at me like kind of surprised. And, but I was glad. I mean, once I got past the anxiety, then I started feeling pretty good about it. It was the anxiety that was killing me. Now, gotta go back home and get my puppy out. Hopefully, she didn't cry the whole time. Hopefully she did not cry the whole time. I was looking at the pricing, when I was coming into the fair park, because I had not brought, my meal. I had not brought a meal. I just brought drinks. And I was like, buy something there or on the way. And yeah, I didn't have to do that. There was enough snacks there that I was able to eat vegetables. They had some carrots and celery sticks and pieces of raw broccoli, and I had that during my break. But I also snacked on cookies, chips, especially when I was leaving. When I was leaving, they had out the packs of chips and Cheetos. So I had ate a small pack of chips and Cheetos, which was about 160 calories each. And yeah. And I told her, I said, well, I'm used to keeping water with me. And then she had informed me that I could take, a beverage in there. I could take water in there. And I asked her if I could take it in, with my my water bottle. And she says yes. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was starting to really feel dehydrated. So when I go the next time, that's pretty much what I'm going to do, is make sure that I have my water bottle with me so that and of course, once I started playing around with the information, like I said that, the butterflies, they evolved through 4 different dimensions. I did. And, some of them, they was in tune to that. They was in tune to that, and I started feeling more comfortable than having to, say it like a script. And then others, I had challenged them, well, what is the difference between a moth and a butterfly? And and then highlight something that they may not have known, right? A moth is like furry and a butterfly is not. A moth, dormant, because butterflies, they don't sleep. But the way that they're dormant is they put their wings together. They put their wings together when they're dormant, whereas a moth, they spread their wings. So it was very interesting. And even in the end, when I was talking about the different diets of the butterflies, I was even telling them, this is definitely, clues to us humans, when we are what we eat, and that there are different, species of butterflies, as a result of what they eat. People were like, oh yeah, and I was like, yeah. So did. That's what made it fun for me, right? Playing a little trivia or something like that, you know. And then there was the kids. Yeah. There was these two girls that came in there. They were so bright and intelligent and high vibing. I couldn't believe, you know, how smart they were. You know, they were like little sponges. And of course, I gave them a lot of stickers. And, you know, the rest of them, you know, I just gave them stickers. Like the boys, most of the boys, they got stickers just for being well behaved. Yeah. So, overall, I could say that, you know, it was a success. But I'm telling you, that first hour that I was there, and I was like, you know, I'm having to learn a lot, you know, but then, you know, during the downtime when there wasn't a lot of people around, you know, I tried to, you know, to spot and identify some of the butterflies and learn what they are, and then, you know, ask other people, well, did you see the paper kite butterfly? Because that one there was a big show off, and he was hanging out, and, you know, it had landed on one person for like at least 15 or 20 minutes, and I had never seen that in the whole shift that I was there, that, you know, they had stayed on someone for so long. And so I was like, you know, when she had finally came around, you know, to where I was at, you know, I told her, I said, you know, you definitely must be some type of, you know, butterfly whisperer or just as sweet as nectar. You know, and I give her credit for just being as sweet as nectar to, you know, to draw the attention of a butterfly for so long, because I did never, not one landed on me, not one. So I know my dogs, they're hungry. These kids got it made. She riding around on an electrical scooter. They got other kids riding around on electrical bicycles. These kids got it made. They get to travel. And all they have to do is keep balance. That's it. Just keep the balance. The lake before I go home, because it's on the way. It's a beautiful sailboat out there during the sunset. It's beautiful. It feels like it was a great day. See, and the only way that you're supposed to cancel is you're supposed to cancel 24 hours in advance, and then you have to return your tickets back. But hard to get people to come in the evening time. And she said she appreciated my help. But it was kind of chaotic for her because today was the first day of the fair. So even though a lot of the buildings shut down at 7 or 8, the rides, they continue until later, because I know they like to be in that, they like to use the lights as ambiance, and they get a lot of people who come down there that want to eat and go on the rides. But who knows? They had a lot of vendors. I didn't walk around and visit. I just walked, and just seen, the events, getting to where, I was going to go volunteer at. I didn't try to, to see everything that was there. I didn't think I had that kind of energy. Definitely wasn't motivated to do that, because I could have did it, but no. I got to go home, and I got some pitties to feed. But this is good training for the PD to know that there's going to be times that the PD is going to have to stay, the baby PD is going to have to stay in the cage, because, she's not trained, and I did put in one of my shirts so that she could have my scent in the cage with her while I was gone. So it wasn't like I was just insensitive. To, her emotional needs. But I can't even imagine, how she is going to handle using the bathroom. I'll see when I get there. Now they say that a lot of dogs, they'll try to hold it, and won't do that where they have to lay, but I'm almost sure that, she went and probably trampled through her urine or her feces, and I'm gonna have to clean that up. That I did learn yesterday or the day before, I'm not sure, but they were stating that nicotine is a stimulant, and that could be the reason why my sleeping patterns have been totally off, is the vapes, that provide, nicotine and allow me to smoke or at least get a hit of nicotine whenever I want. That could be, what is messing with my sleeping patterns.